Okay, guys, so we just went on the deep dive of why you need to have the sample size. Build it up. It's the only thing that I know. It's the only thing that helps me during downswings when you have those weeks like I just showed you where you're losing, 80% of the time. You just continue to fire because you know that at some point you're going to get back to your average. You're going to get back to your mean. I probably win 35 to 40% of the time. Playing baseball. So there's going to be times where I lose 80%. There's going to be times where I win 60%, 50%. But it's always usually going to average to, 4 out of 10 slates, 3 out of 10 slates, somewhere in between those are going to be profitable for me. And when they are profitable, you just hope that you make it count. I think that's the true measure of the great DFS players is the ones who aren't afraid to lose. And, I say that all the time. I'm not a great DFS player. I'm a good DFS player that makes it count when he wins. And that's it. That's really it. I just weather the storm, and I just know that at some point I'm going to get back to my career average, and I'm going to just shoot myself out of a slump. And I have the sample size, and I put in the work to justify, my confidence. And, we're going to take a look at some of the other stuff we can learn from Steph. My faith is my driving force. You got to have faith. And I think that it's important, when you're doing something like this, you would say that Steph has faith in God. Obviously, he has faith in his process. We talked about his process, putting in the extra hours in the gym, and that's how you have faith in yourself. We'll take a look at his faith in God. These are some of the things that when you are battling adversity, your mind can only focus on one of two things at a time. It can either focus on what's going well, professional, or what's going poorly, amateur. So when it's not going well, you need to focus on what has gone well. And, a lot of the stuff when I'm battling something adversity-wise, especially a downswing, I'll say stuff like this, have my own affirmations. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. So no downswing is going to affect me. No, it's not going to prosper. It's going to end. I'm going to get out of it, and I'm going to be a better player because of it. I'm going to learn something from this. I'm going to put in the time to be great. I'm going to put in the time to get better. It's exactly what Steph does. Mama Curry, everybody loves Sonia. This is from an article that I found. Before his first practice as a freshman, he received a text from his mom. Stay faithful. He's doing that. Work hard. He's doing that. And then she included her favorite verse. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good for those who are called according to his purpose. I don't know what your guys' faith is. I'm not here to convert anybody. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to show you, hey, this is what works for Steph. This is what works for me. If you do have a faith, you need to lean on that because it's the number one thing that helps me no matter how bad anything is going in my life. And you have guys like Steph Curry that are the best in the business. They could sleepwalk through most of their stuff, but they don't. They want to continue to be great. They want to learn from the things that don't go their way. Everybody knows about Steph. He has this verse on his shoe for every single game. It's Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So if you're a Christian, or if you have a faith in God, or whatever your belief system is, or if you don't, there's plenty of positive things out there that you can encourage yourself with. This is what Steph does. This is what I do. And I hardly encourage you. We joke around in past videos of sometimes like you got to be your own cheerleader. And that's how it's going to feel, especially when you're losing money that can affect your life. Earlier in this series, I joked about losing more money in a week than my car payment. Like that's a tough pill to swallow, but you've got to remember why you're playing. You got to remember why you're putting in the work. You got to remember why you're going to prove everybody wrong that says you shouldn't be doing this. But you have confidence in yourself, and you get your encouragement from your faith or your family, or just putting positivity into your brain, and know that you're going to continue to work through this stuff. And my faith plays a big role in what's going on. And sometimes people will be like, dude, like you're getting crushed right now, like what's up? And it's like, dude, my identity isn't in my ability as a DFS player. My identity is in Christ, and he gave me this gift to play this game, and I'm so freaking fortunate I play a game about a game for a living. Like, do you understand like how incredibly fortunate I am? Like, I don't have any real problems. So this little downswing, it's going to pass. And that when things aren't going well from a DFS perspective, I keep it's right here. I keep a journal of gratitude, of things that I was going to cover this in another video series. But when things aren't going well, like I'll refer back to my journal of, hey, on this date, I experienced new highs in this category, this went well. This is what I'm talking about. This is about, this is how Steph stays encouraged. This is how I stay encouraged. But it's about feeding yourself things to stay encouraged, because that's how you're going to be able to get the true benefit of your sample size when it's not going well, to be able to hang in there and continue to shoot so that you can get to your next upswing. And you got to have faith in your process. I think it's very clear that Steph has faith in his process. I've talked to you guys, I did over 2 hours on having a Major League Baseball process. The MLB starter pack, it is pinned to my Twitter. It is there, copy and paste it. If there's anything that you need to, start locking in a process, I've put in the work. Manage your bankroll. That's huge. We talked about it earlier in the segment. The tool is in the starter pack. So, go get it. It's incredibly free. Sample size. We looked at Steph. He's going to be about a 48% shooter. He knows that on average, over the course of no matter how many shots he takes in the season, he's going to make close to half. And, I wish I won close to half of the if I won close to half of the slates I played in DFS, I would be like, Asimo, you better look out, dog, because I'm closer than you think, but, maybe we'll get there. Maybe I'll get there. Maybe I won't. But, I'm, living my best life playing this game about a game, and it's just so fun. And that's why I want to give back to you guys, because I believe in you when no one else believes in you. I believed in myself when no one else believed in me. And if you need encouragement, I'm your guy. I have been there. Look at my track record. If I can do this, you can do this. I never really tried hard in school. I kind of, just got by with B's, a couple A's, some C's, whatever. I didn't really care. I was kind of the guy who didn't study for stuff, just, by proxy pick stuff up because I'm a good listener. Yeah, dude, I didn't go to Berkeley. I didn't go to a six-figure university. I went to Fresno State, dude, I won't even tell you what my degree is, because it's like, oh, so you got a made-up degree? Yeah, pretty much, I was in a fraternity. I had fun. That's the length of my college experience. And I got my crap together, and here we are. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Process. This is why you have a process. So when you have a week like this where you lose a bunch of money, you can hang in there long enough to have a week like this. And you guys will have weeks like this, I promise. If you guys stick to a process, you develop your own process, you take what works for you that I'm suggesting, I promise you, your weeks will begin to look like this. Do not be in a hurry to get there. Don't try to be me. I'm not trying to be Asimo. I'm just trying to be the best version of JG that I can be. The best professional DFS player that JG can currently be. I aspire to be more. I enjoy where I'm at. I appreciate where I came from. And, I'm not satisfied with what I've accomplished. But at the same time, I'm incredibly pleased with the results. And I think that you got to walk that fine line of, man, this is great, but what can we do next? I'm definitely appreciative of everything that I've achieved, but, I want to use my gifts, my God-given gifts, the thing that I feel like God created me to do. I want to glorify Him in that, and that's why I continue to work hard. If God made me to be a DFS player, let's be the best DFS player that God created me to be, and I'll do what JG knows how to do best and let God take care of the rest. And everything that we just talked about is this is why you need the sample size. This is why you need the process. This is why you need to have a source of encouragement so that you can wait for the storms. You can wait for the spikes. You're one losing slate away from your heater. You're one miss away from your Game 6 second half, dropping 33 points on the road, shutting up your rival who said, oh, you know what? If Chris Paul didn't get hurt last year, we would have beat y'all. We would have beat you guys. It's like, all right, first of all, no one talks about the fact that Andre Iguodala got hurt for the Warriors and they got blown out by 40 points. And then Iggy got hurt. So we won't talk about that. But that's what I love about Curry. He doesn't need to tell you that. I don't need to tell you how good of a DFS player is. I don't need to post screenshots to show you how good of a DFS player is. Steph doesn't need to show you, talk about how many shots that he's made. He just knows that he's a great player. I know that I'm going to be a great player because I'm putting in the work. And that's what I'm encouraging you guys to do. Put in the work. We're getting a little long here, but we'll keep pumping. So you got to have faith. You got to have faith in yourself. His faith is his driving force. His confidence comes from everything that he's put into it. And he knows that, he believes in himself. And he talked about that. I wouldn't have had a second half like that if I didn't believe in myself. And you got to turn negatives into positive. And here's one of the things. These are a set of things that I think about during every downswing. So downswing happens. It's like day 1 loser. Okay. Day 2 loser. As a small loser, no big deal. Day 3 loser, you're like, for real? Like, this is getting pretty old. Day 4, you're like, I can't believe I like doing this. Day 5, and at that point, like day 5 losing the lawyers, like, this is like, I'll show you my calendar. Like, I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losing days in a row, and day off tomorrow. So if I don't win today, losing week. Okay, well, there's our threshold for throwing a pity party, but that's what amateurs do. What is a professional? What as professionals are we going to do? Okay, adversity builds up your endurance. All right, JG, you want this? How bad do you want it? Because if you really want this, you got to learn to deal with the stuff that wipes other people out. Okay, so hey, guess I don't need that pity party after all. I start feeling a little bit better. Hey, what puts us down grows us up. Hey, are there any holes in my game? Is there something that I'm not seeing right now? Is there something that I could learn from this to make me a better player? I don't want to say 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10 downswings, I learned something that I would not have learned, or I find something, or I find a source of encouragement, or I found my newest downswing. The last one that I had, I found a podcast of this new pastor in Chicago who's just amazing. And it's like, where's this dude been all my life? And it's like, I wouldn't have been trying to encourage myself through the last downswing and sought out, the source of encouragement that I found. So all good is going to come from downswings if you look for the silver lining and you stop asking, like, stop feeling sorry for yourself and start saying, you know what, like, what can I learn from this? Because the problem reveals where we need work. A lot of the times that's a bankroll management issue. It could be a burnout issue. I talked about how last year I played every single day. 2019, I wanted to take a professional approach. Started forcing myself to take a day off, and my results have almost doubled from last year. And I don't know, there's a lot of interconnected things, but I know the day off definitely helps. I love the word steadfast. A synonym for steadfast is unshakable. When you weather the storm of a downswing and you keep shooting and then you hit a pop and you have a big win, you feel unshakable. Your faith is soaring because you're like, you know what? When everyone else would have quit, I kept going. And I encourage myself to keep going because I know that my results say I'm a long-term winning player. So I'm going to keep firing, and I'm going to ignore the negativity, the negative thoughts in my head, the peanut gallery in your life. You can't fly with eagles if you're hanging out the turkeys. I believe all that stuff, and you just got to keep going, man. In your calling is your conquering. Like, I think about that a lot. When you have some adversity to overcome in your life, whether that's a DFS downswing or something negative that happened in your life, I firmly believe that when bad things happen, it's so that we can experience them first and then help others. And I just think that if we looked at that from the prism of, hey, you know what, so-and-so, I gotta, this is God calling, and I gotta, you're going to go through a bad breakup here. It's like, well, God, I don't want to go through a bad breakup. And it's like, all right, well, your best friend's going to go through a bad breakup in a year. I need you to go through this so you can help him. Can you do that? All of a sudden, you reframed it. Your perspective changes. Like, yeah, God, I will do that. I got a call today from one of my best friends, and he ran into his ex-girlfriend over the weekend. And he was like, dude, I'm so thankful that I wasn't with her. And we're just like laughing about, the hot messes we dated before our wives. And it's like, thank God that didn't work out. But thank God that we had that to go through that together, and what that did for our friendship, and how much better friends we are, and how much more we appreciate things in our lives. That's what I'm saying, guys, is don't be afraid of failure. Failure is a good thing. This is one of my favorite verses, and it says, and yet all things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. That means a lot to me as a believer, but even if you're not a believer, more than conquerors, we're called to be more than conquerors in this life as Christians. But even if you're not a Christian, Don't you want to be more than a conqueror? Well, of course we do, but the bottom line is you can't be more than a conqueror without something to conquer. So when things aren't going well for you guys, embrace it, learn from it, reach out to people that can encourage you, make connections with other players, work together to get better. One of the best things I've done this last year through the Manny community is I have all sorts of friends now that I've met that I talk to on a regular basis, and we're encouraging each other and strengthening each other, and we're competing to win, but we're there for each other when it doesn't work out. And the future of DFS is incredibly bright, and we got pretty deep on this video series, more so than others in the past. But I want to be fully transparent with you guys. There's going to be a lot of bad if you're serious about doing this, and you got to have a plan. We talk about having a plan for how to play baseball, having a process for it. Well, okay, great, but what's our plan and our process for everything else? That's the type of stuff that I want to get into and help you guys with as well, because I'm probably the only person talking about it. Maybe one or two other people talk about it. I know Manny talks about this a little bit, but that's the reality. My goal is just to be fully transparent to help you guys in any way that I can. So when if you want to get better and you want to get stronger at something, you can't shy away from what you have to overcome to be able to do that. So that's our opportunity here when we're faced with a downswing. So build up your sample size, guys. Keep shooting, shoot or shoot. Because at the end of the day, it's all about winning that title. It's all about winning that trophy. It's all about winning that GPP. It's all about turning that losing week into a winning month. You can turn things around very quickly in this, and they say life's all about second chances. DFS gives you so many chances to turn things around if you're doing it the right way and you have the right attitude and the right process and you're putting in the work. I say it all the time. DFS rewards those that work the hardest, and so just keep working, guys. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you guys need to reach out to me, we're moving this week, but I'm available all the regular channels, and hit me up anytime. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, hit me up, tell somebody about it. We can all get better together. That's one of the things I'm really proud of, is you guys are sending me a lot of stuff that you've learned from these videos, and I appreciate it, because I'm not giving you guys secrets that ruin my edge. You guys winning doesn't hurt me as a player, because I know that if I execute what I need to execute, and I'm on the right side of variance, it's going to work out for me. And the days where it doesn't work out for me, I hope it works out for you. That way one of us is getting some coins. So thank you guys for stopping by. We'll wrap up the regular part of our series here, and we'll hop into the mailbag next. Appreciate you guys.